So here's a question for you. Do you trust your government? Well, how much do you trust your government? So we're talking all things about governments and blockchain today. And hey, I'm John Harrison. This is another episode of Exponential Radio. This is a really big one because this rabbit hole is never ending. By 2025, 75% of the population believes that governments will collect tax via the blockchain. So this has a lot of consequences, which will go into some of the positives and negatives. When it comes to government, unfortunately, and some big institutions, things have become rather negative. But let's just have a look at it. Look, the positive side is it's going to be more efficient. Many of the departments and processes other than tax collection will all become more proficient, should be less standing in queues and being able to do things more online. So that obviously for the population in general will be way more efficient and will save a lot of time. The other thing is when we move away from that, we look at the negatives and we go straight into things like regulatory environment. The central banks, we're looking at things like monetary regulation, and specifically when we talk about CBDCs, etc. Although there's a lot of pushback now, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But who's going to be regulating all this monetary policy with a centralized digital currency through central banks? The next thing we're going to talk about is corruption itself. Who's going to own these various blockchains, and what will happen as far as corruption is concerned, and also looking at real-time taxation. This is going to have big consequences because, as you know, things can change and need adjusting at the year end. But if you're doing real-time taxation and payments, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get your money back. So these are real issues that are coming up. Other things to think about is, what will the role of governments be if we move towards AI and we get voting set up properly? Whether that's possible or not, I'm not sure. But obviously that is something to look at. And will we have an AI president? And in fact, an AI global village? Will it be run under the auspices of AI? And again, who is going to own this and who's going to oversee it and who's going to regulate it? And what is the impact to citizens? We've seen a lot of scary things occurring when it comes to digital IDs, digital currencies, digital medical, etc., etc. We're not sure where it's all going to land up and what kind of freedom we will have as a population. So this is something that we're going to have to think about. We've already got countries, there was that Estonia, I don't know if you remember, that went basically digital, and you could become a digital citizen, and it's all on the blockchain, and a lot of the systems are run via blockchain there. So those blockchains are great for efficiency, but as I say, how regulated and what impact they're going to, how they're going to impinge on our freedom, not only of speech, of movement, etc., money, I'm not sure. So these are things that are to think about. And I suppose when you're making decisions down the line, you need to have this as some kind of a backdrop and think about ways that you can try and benefit from it as opposed to it being a massive problem. Because blockchain will grow within government and within the corporate sector, private sector. So we'll see how it's going to pan out. You can go and look at some of the other episodes, things that we've been chatting about on johnarthurharris.blogspot.com. These are issues that we just chat about that are interesting and may have some bearing on your decision making for the future and things that you may want to do. The biggest one we talk about is with the advent of the blockchain, AI, etc., this new technology, the reduction of jobs, how are we going to structure time? And I think this is interplaying with a lot of what's going on with Citizen, with the control setups, the digital IDs and so forth. Because if we take work out of our day, I'm not sure what else we're going to be, how constructive we're going to be, and what kind of meaning we're going to find in life without that. We'll have to look at how we're going to structure and what kind of lifestyle we're going to develop, and that is one of the things I'm really interested in, and it's really tough. If you want to design a lifestyle around blockchain, AI, and not working, well, if you enjoy golf, fine. I suppose you can only play so much golf, and there's other things you can do, travel, that'll perhaps be limited. I'm not sure what else you're going to do. So you need to think about arts, crafts, sport, and other hobbies. You're going to have to be thinking about these things, how you're going to structure your time. And the strange thing is, this is happening at such a pace. It's not something that's out there forever and a day. It's upon us. And ChatGPT 4.0 is another step in that direction. We will never get the AI that we've had, the large language models running at the level they were. That's now history. It's always going to be improving from there. So these are things to think about. And as usual, we will see you in the next episode.